Hello and welcome to the Vlogging Pod. Tonight we are starting something a little bit different. When I originally started the Vlogging Pod, my thinking was to include a little bit of vlogging about my life. But as I have done the podcast for the last year, I thought, what would be more interesting is to hear about daily lives from just daily people and living their lives and finding out the gist and jots of their in and outs of life. So, with that, I would love to introduce Maria Shevlin, a nail artist. Welcome, Maria.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, you are so welcome. So before I sent you a little bit of sort of a questionnaire so I could get the gist and just of your life, and I found it very interesting. You have an extraordinary life, very, very extraordinary.
Thank you. I've never been told that before.
Well, I think it's because what we think are day in, day outs, we don't think it's that great, but I have to say, I think it is.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well, you're very welcome. So, coming from Philadelphia and moving to New Jersey at an early age, tell me why. Hold on a minute. Let me start my timer. That would help. There we go. Um, so, so coming from Philadelphia and moving to New Jersey at an early age, tell me why your mother was so influential to you.
Oh gosh. She took care of four of us, um, and we were a handful at times. My older brother, and I are 11 months apart. Then there's my sister after me. I'm second in line. My sister's after me. She's 3 years younger. Then we had baby brother, um, and he's 13 years younger than I am.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So our ages of right now, I'm 57. My brother's 58. My sister's 55, and my little brother is like 43.
Okay. All right. So she was influential to you because of how much she did for you guys individually. Tell me
Sure.
something. Tell me something on a day in, day out that she would do for all of you.
Oh gosh, make sure we were up in time. We had our chores done before Dad got home. Uh, Fed us well. Was an amazing cook. Amazing mom. Somebody you can talk to about anything and everything. Um, and she spoiled us rotten behind Dad's back sometimes.
What's the earliest memory that you have of your mother?
Probably when I was about five, and back then when I was growing up, so this would have been, I guess I was five in '69. Um, there was an optional time for the child to either go to kindergarten or stay home, and my mom never sent me to kindergarten. And I remember 5 years old. We lived in Philadelphia, like those small little tiny streets. If anybody is familiar with the area, um, you don't go in the street. Be careful, be careful. And I remember her telling me that, and I went outside. I went down the porch steps. I went outside, and I stood on the sidewalk with my toes in my shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and stood with them like over the curb, but they were kind of like in the street, but not touching the street. And she kept saying, "Don't you go in that street." I was like, "I'm not in the street." And she came out and she saw stuff. We just have like fun times like that that I can remember. And then a little bit of my memory, it blurred until the time that we moved to Philadelphia moved to New Jersey from Philly. But mom was always home. She never worked outside the house. So I have like all my memories of my mom, or the things she did for us constantly.
Right. So let's go a little deeper, and let's
Mhm.
let's talk about the scare you had when you developed the life-threatening scenario, the same in which you had lost your mother through. Tell
Oh,
us,
yeah.
tell us what pushed you to overcome it.
Um, wow. Knowing that I had to be there for my daughter, I didn't want her to grow up without her mom. Um, and I just fought it, and I just, cried to the doctors and begged to the doctors, please let me live. I know my mom died from this, and please, please, let me live through this, and I think ever since that was kind of like my second chance on life, and kind of got me to see the world in a different set of eyes, you
Right.
know. I've always been a good person, but this kind of really upped the ante a little bit for me.
Well, now I have another question.
Mhm.
It's but when you say that, because it changed you. So let me say the other question, but put a pin in it, okay? I'm going to say that question because I'm curious if this what you went through is actually pushed this kind of mentality that you have. Okay, so let me read off the next question.
Okay.
I read that you value your time here on Earth, showing those closest to you how much they mean to you. Have you always had that outlook, or like again, like I said, what you went through, did that help
Yeah.
formulate that more, or do you think that's always been something that you always had, that positive outlook to reach out to those closest to you?
Um, I've I've always had a really good attitude. Um, it's just the way my parents raised us. And it it just carried on to it adulthood, and then when I had my daughter, it really changed me and like appreciate things because I tried so long to have her, and like everything just I saw things differently. And then, then it was the situation where my mom died, and then I almost died 3 years later to the day almost. And I just vowed to be a better person than what I was. And, I'm always learning and always trying to be better at what I do, how I speak to people and things like that.
Right. So let's talk about the love you have for your job. Can you tell our listeners? Okay, hold on. Don't get too shocked. Um, can you tell us, our listeners, let's see, I'm trying to read my writing how you actually got started in your job?
Well, I'm a nail tech by trade,
Okay.
and right before I was about to get married, I started getting my nails done. I've always been a tomboy and never had my nails done, never worried about nail polish or anything like that. So I said, well, I'm going to get married. I guess I got to have fingernails. So I started getting my nails done, and the tech just made it so easy looking, and I would always go back to see the same girl all the time. And we got to chatting one day, and I said, what's this all about? And it looks so easy. And she actually handed me the brush, and she said, this is what you do. And she like had me do my own fingernail, and it was really interesting. So that's what really sparked it. And plus the fact that I'm really artistic, and I was like, I think I can do this. And I really like the idea of how she made me feel. It just made that little bit of just getting your fingernails done, polished and designed was it just made me feel extra special. So I continued on with it, and then I walked into a salon where a friend of mine worked to get my hair cut, and the owner looked at my nails, and she's like, "Oh my, those nails are amazing. Did you? I know who did them." And I was like, "I did them." And she goes, "What? Do you have a license?" And I said, "Actually, I don't. It's just like a hobby I do." And she's like, "Girl, get yourself a license. I'll give you a job." Well, 3 years later, I finally did go get that license. And she stayed true to her promise, and she gave me a job.
Nice.
Yeah, so I started working there for a little bit, and it just wasn't for me. And then I just decided that somebody that I went to nail school with opened up a salon, and I went to work for her, and then I was like, this just is not for me. My daughter was at 5 years old at the time. She was being raised, a salon brat. You know what I mean? Your army brat and things like that. But she would come to work with me, and I was like, this isn't a place to raise a child. And then I just slowly but surely brought some clients over to the house. I had like a little teeny table, and then I, graduated to the living room, and then I went from a living room to my own little private little salon in the house. So I do that, and I absolutely love it. I have people driving up to at least an hour away sometimes. Um, traffic, without traffic, all hours of the day and evening, and I'm there just to make them feel a little special about themselves.
Well, that's good. Well, I have to say, the art in your work, I mean, really, I'll just say it, it's fantastic. I look at some of your
Oh,
stuff and I'm like, oh my God, that is. And I really love how you look at other people's work and you're thinking about how you can recreate that into your own. And I think that's outstanding. There's something to say about people that are continuing to learn at their craft, and that is you. That is just all of you. So,
yeah, definitely.
so with that, can you tell us where that artistic nature came from?
Oh gosh, that came from my dad. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, his dad as well. My dad was extremely artistic. He was a lithographer, 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 and he worked on printing presses all day. He would, let's say, Sports Illustrated. They took a picture of a woman in a bikini, and well, sometimes a little slip happens.
Uh huh.
And my dad would be the one that once they printed the plate, my dad would be the one to cover up anything that slipped or was seen or something that was sheer. He would like cover that up, and like he painted and his cooking craft and all that, and he passed it down. Pardon me. Each one of us, four kids, have some type of artistic um, talent, and then I passed that, which I'm very happy to my daughter Taylor.
Nice. Well, just for the audience to know, what Maria does, I mean, she draws little scenes and stuff on people's nails. It's not just squiggly lines and dots. I mean, she can actually put something on your nail. And from what I understand, a lot of that's freehand. Yes.
Yes. Oh, it's all freehand.
Yeah. See,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a sticker. It's not a press on. It's actual
No,
art.
no,
Um,
yeah,
I mean, I'm lucky if I can read my own handwriting, let alone paint on my nail. Just saying,
yeah,
just putting
yeah.
that out there. So you never went to school for that. It's just something you're gifted with.
The art, yeah, the art pretty much came naturally. Like you're saying, I can put like a whole beach scene on you now.
Nice.
The sand, the ocean, the palm tree, the little seagull in the sky, and whatever you want. I have clients that bring me pictures and go, I want this, but I kind of want it in this color. But then can you add this nail from this to that? And and we create our own. I don't like to copy. There are a lot of people out there that do copy. Um, and some of them are a really bad attempt at copying, and then you have some that are like amazing. I hear all the time from my clients. Like I had a client the other day, I did her nails, and she actually squealed when she saw them, and I was like, yes, you know.
Well,
So
I can understand that. You are phenomenal. I think I would cry when they start to fade or something would happen. I'd be like, "No, my work of art's gone." But yeah, but you know that. I'm just for full disclosure. I follow Maria on Facebook, and I'm not even quite sure how we started following each other, but I'm always entertained by the nail pictures you post, and I just think, oh my God, these are just so great. Um, so let's
thank you, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So let's switch the tail here a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about being a chef. Um, like I said, you and I follow each other on Facebook. So I've
Mhm.
seen the lunch boxes. Tell me how that started. From what I understand, you're producing some lunch boxes for friends. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, the what?
Your lunch boxes when you create the meals.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so are you doing those for friends, or you're just like you're saying what the order is and
Well, I was doing that last year.
uh-huh.
About this time last year, I started it. I started kind of doing like a Meals on Wheels kind of thing. And I would just scour the internet for ideas, and most of the people that I cooked for were, watching their weight or wanted low carb foods, or some of them really it didn't matter. So I was doing that. I was My Tuesdays was my specialty. Everybody loved Taco Tuesday. I've made everything from enchiladas to tortillas to tacos to micro tacos and everything that goes along with it. I was doing that, and then my hand started getting really bad with all the chopping and things like that. And plus, I
Right.
had had some history of having a little bit of carpal tunnel, so I wound up having surgery in the summertime. Um, and my hands still are not back to normal.
Right.
Um, so it's very difficult. So it's like, do I cook or do I do nails?
Right.
So I had to kind of give that up after about 7 months. Um, I miss cooking for people. Tuesdays I would cook for up to anywhere from 30 to 40 people, all from my little kitchen at home.
Now, see, I think that's incredible. That says a lot about you. I mean, your range of creativity is amazing. And people can say, "Oh, well, you're just talking about lunch," but no, no, you do not understand the image this woman puts on the screen. I mean, it looks as if you look like, excuse my language, but food porn on Instagram. Have you seen that hashtag for food porn? Those pretty
Oh,
pictures
oh
of food. Oh my god!
yeah.
And I'm like, I find myself, my God, if licking the screen was sanitary, you know? I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm just
thank
saying.
you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And also because you've learned to cook a lot healthier, even just for yourself and your family. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Well, tell us a little bit about that journey for you.
Um, well, I've always, since I was about 16, 17 years old, I just started gaining weight, and, I was probably at my, oh, gosh, my lightest when I met my husband. And then I just, what happens? You get happy, you get satisfied. Um,
Yeah, I get you.
so, I started gaining some weight there, wasn't really taking care of myself. And then I met an author around the same time I believe you and I met,
Okay.
and started following her and following some plans, and just tried this, tried Weight Watchers, tried um, so many different programs, and failed miserably at them. I would lose 50 pounds, go off the program, gain 100. So I lost a bunch of weight. I dropped the sugar, dropped the carbs, started watching what I was eating, and then COVID happened.
Oh, yes, I know. I
Yeah,
feel you.
yeah,
I feel you.
yeah, and I think we all got the COVID 20 going on here. um, well, not all. I can't say for all of us. You haven't changed a bit, but
Well,
but some of us have gained some weight, and
well,
I, yeah, but
actually,
so
I used to be over 200 pounds.
no, stop.
Yes, yes. And
Oh
when
my
oh
gosh.
my, yes, and when COVID started, I like you, I actually was introduced with another Facebook person that she had lost weight, and what she started doing,
Mm-hmm.
similar to what you did, giving up the sugar. It's not
Mm-hmm.
keto; it's dirty keto. It's similar to what you're. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's dirty
Yeah.
keto. You're
Yeah. Yeah.
still incorporating vegetables. You're just keeping track of your carbs. I started doing dirty keto, and I lost over, oh, what, 60, 70 pounds. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so no, I understand, but it was
Yes.
COVID is what my tip over was. When COVID happened, I was like, oh well, screw this,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me it was less eating out, less, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
more being concentrated at home and like, okay, I need to do something. So yeah, I can
Yeah.
fully
Oh,
relate.
I understand. Yeah, yeah, totally understand.
Okay,
I was
what?
doing good last summer. I was doing good last summer, like walking every day and, getting out there in the 90, 100-degree weather and just like walking. I got to meet some of my neighbors who were cheering me on, and they would walk by and were like, day 70! Their kids would walk out the window and go, where's Miss Maria today? Oh,
Well,
there she is, Mom.
I think you're still doing fabulous because I've seen your
Oh,
pictures
thanks.
and it's not like I don't think you've went the other way. I still think you're staying on course. You're still doing very healthy things for
Yeah.
yourself. And your attitude is the bomb. I mean, come on. Your attitude is the bomb. I mean, I wouldn't have reached out for you in this kind of scenario if I didn't think it was. So,
Aw.
with that in
You make me
mind,
cry.
oh, I don't want to make you cry. So with that in mind, so let's tell our listeners for our last question of the interview how
Okay.
they can get your services and what's the best way to go about if they want to if they are artistic in the same way you are and want to actually become nail technicians. What's the best way to go about that?
Well, best way to go about that to become a nail tech would be you gotta have the oh gosh, what's that word? You gotta have the willingness to learn from the beginning. If you already polish your nails and do things at home yourself, um, it's more than just when you go to nail school, you learn more than just, all right, here's a nail tip, glue it on, put your acrylic on, do whatever. You learn more than that. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to keep learning, and you are going to go through the ups. You're going to go through the downs. My husband lost my job. I can't come get my nails done. My kid got hurt, is in the hospital. I can't come get my nails done. And that comes with the territory because having nails is a luxury. And when something fails in somebody's relationship or, the job, they lost their job or whatever, so the nails stop. So you have to understand that just because you have the clientele for 4 or 5 years, you might not keep that person for 4 or 5 years. And when COVID struck, I was doing regular nail polish. After COVID, people were more interested in the gel polish. Now, everything I do is with gel polish,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very sticky polish. It doesn't, I don't use acrylic paints on the nails. I don't use regular polish. Everything I do right now, since COVID, when COVID started, I had like 1 or 2 clients that got gel nails, and I had like a shoebox full of gel polishes. And everybody's like, I really like the gel, I really like the gel. So now I have probably close to 300 gel polishes to choose
Wow.
from. Not counting the 5,000 bottles of regular nail polish I have. Hey, anybody want any nail polish? Hit me up. um, so you just have to be willing to learn and learn from the beginning. Learn what they teach you. Somebody comes into you with a green thing on their side of their nail, like a hangnail that got infected.
Oh.
You're not going to tell them, oh my God, your finger's going to fall off. We learn about that in school. We learn about skin diseases, bone diseases,
Wow.
hand, all that kind of stuff. So going to nail school is just not painting, as people call it, painting their nails. It's not. It's not just painting your nails. You have so much to learn. There's so many hours of the curriculum that you have to do. Find yourself a good school, do research about the school, get feedback about the school, go into the school. 9 times out of 10, the schools that you'll attend, a cosmetology school, they have clinics on the weekends. And you can go in and the students that are learning will have their mentor there, and to watch them, to oversee what they do. I worked in the clinic all the time. I was able to graduate in 19 weeks rather than 24 or something like that, because I always went in and I gained my time by working in the clinic. So I gained those hours, those knowledge hours. So you have to be willing to want to do this. You don't really need to have an artistic background, but it definitely helps, because if there's somebody in the salon that you work with who's very artistic, they can lend you a hand.
Right.
And that's what we do as women. We're there for one another. We help one another. If I get stuck, unfortunately, it's just me in my business. But if I worked in a salon, it would be, oh, hey, Steph, can you come over here and, help me draw this heart? I'm a little stuck on it. I can't do it. Or what have you. But I'm constantly learning, and with insomnia, I'm always searching. There's a few people, nail educators on Instagram that I follow. I don't know their URLs offhand. I know one's named Hillary, then there's Susie. They're real nail educators, and they're people you definitely want to follow and watch. They offer online courses, but you really do need to have a license and just be willing to keep learning and learning and learning and learning. And I'm rambling because I'm so passionate about my job.
No, that's fine. I do have to close it, but
Yes,
I want to
yes.
thank you so much for your time. Do me a favor and you shoot
Yes.
me your links in Messenger for Instagram, and I will add that to the bio when we go to post out, all right?
All right, great.
Okay, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this. You were actually you were so entertaining. I really enjoy it.
Oh.
You really are. And I'm telling you guys, when I go to post this, when I post off from the live, I'll do the repost through all the social media. We do go out to iTunes, and we're on Amazon Music. So I will post out, and I will definitely give your page to you tomorrow so that you can post out the links as well for anyone who missed the program today. But she's great. She's entertaining. I love following her. So once we get that all in, you guys please check her out, because you will. She is. I mean, you're doing art on a little nail. Come on, that's awesome. I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. Stay tuned to this Thursday when we will have our next podcast. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye bye for now.